Welcome to this special video from Maghull Wind Orchestra, documenting our time at the BASBWE weekend held at the idyllic and historical setting of Scarisbrick Hall School in November 2016. The event also launched the International Centre for Wind Ensemble Education, which is a collaboration between BASBWE and Scarisbrick Hall School to promote the development of wind ensembles through educational initiatives. In this video, we will look at the workshops that took place on the first day, and we interview BASBWE Chairman Bill Connor and MWO Musical Director and Musician in Residence at Scarisbrick Hall School, Phil Shotton. There are highlights from the evening concert, which premiered new works by Michael Betteridge and Adam Roberts. The weekend started with Bill Connor leading a warm-up session which he lovingly calls a tutty bash. We spoke with Bill about how he runs his warm-ups.
When people often ask me what I do, it's hard to say because it's all in the moment, whatever's happening in the moment. We always work in a circle because the circle disengages band members from their recognised comfort zone of, you have sectional clarinets, flutes, brass, saxes. But in a circle, everybody's looking at everybody else.
1, 2, 3, 4. The way Bill led this workshop just allowed players to express themselves through their instrument in a different way and in a new way. And for some musicians in the group, this was the first time they'd tried that. In all their years of playing, they've never sort of played and composed in real time and improvised in this way. So it was a really interesting session.
Every session, every workshop that I do is different because every band that I meet, they're always different. So it's not a sense of having a set of tricks that I bring along and impose on others. It's responding, and I respond as much as anyone else responds. And we're working with our own experiences, and improvisation exploration is doing something that's focused. And the composer brings their own ideas and fixes them on a page to communicate with others. And that's recreation when we get together as a band. So it's not either or, it's an inclusion. So that the things that we look at, we can apply to the moments when we are recreating as much as when we create.
Next on the agenda were the sectional workshops.
In the sectional rehearsals, I was very keen that the tutors looked at instrumental technique so that when I, as a director, asked the band to play really quietly, for example, they know how to play that quietly. They know what to do on their instrument, how to change their airflow to play really quietly but sustain the sound. Or if I want the music to be short staccato notes, how do you do that on the instrument? And some of the players that we've got involved don't have that knowledge on their instrument. So having these world-class tutors come along and deliver that kind of knowledge to them in a session is really, really valuable, and just get an insight into real, correct instrumental technique.
The afternoon massed band rehearsal was an opportunity for the musicians to work with different conductors. We asked Phil Shotton how this was beneficial.
Most of the musicians on stage are used to working with me and used to seeing my conducting style. Every conductor has a certain conducting style and a certain rehearsal style. So it does the musicians the world of good to work for different conductors. Over the years I've played for various different conductors. Sometimes just understanding what they want through their actions can be tricky. So it's a really important part of a musician's repertoire, if you like, to be able to work with and for different conductors. We had Jonathan Pippin and Sean Chandler did some conducting, and also Andy Scott did direct some of the rehearsal, and I think that's really a great opportunity for the musicians to have a piece of music rehearsed and conducted by the music's composer. It gives a real worth to the music and a really interesting insight. If anybody knows how that piece of music should go, it is the person who composed it. So that's a real benefit to a weekend like this.
The concert featured new arrangements of Mediba and Fujiko by Andy Scott, and a few of the orchestra's favourite repertoire, including Irish Blessing, Bach's Toccata in D minor, Wall of Sound and Star Wars.
The Mass Bands concert was an opportunity for all the musicians to show the work that they'd not just spent the day working on, but in fact weeks and months beforehand in preparation. A lot of rehearsal went into this concert. And we had just over 160 musicians on stage, all presenting this wonderful and quite eclectic programme of music.
The concert featured two premiere performances. The first was composed by Michael Betteridge, who worked with MWO during our performance at the Bridgewater Hall earlier in 2016. We spoke to Michael before the concert about his arrangement.
So I'm Michael Betteridge, I'm a composer and conductor, and the piece we're going to hear tonight of mine is called A Summer on Lake Beale. So A Summer on Lake Beale is a wind band piece I wrote about 5 years ago. It was inspired by a holiday to Switzerland, and I was staying right opposite Lake Beale. Switzerland is known for many things: beautiful countryside, beautiful mountains, beautiful scenery, as well as watches and clocks. So those were kind of my two major inspirations. These two main themes, which I kind of saw as the slightly kind of excitedness of being on holiday, the excitedness of kind of being in this beautiful landscape, but also this kind of more, how do I describe it, lyrical kind of walking through the hill.
The second piece was written especially for Maghull Wind Orchestra by Adam Roberts, and we caught up with Adam after the concert to tell us about his composition.
Originally, I was doing a project with Bill Connor, member of BASBWE, and he had one of my arrangements at the last BASBWE festival. Shortly after, he contacted me and said, "Would you like to compose a piece for Maghull Wind Band?" And I just jumped at the chance. I thought it'd be brilliant. After hearing the band play, I couldn't say no. However, unlike most commissions, the band itself would determine the journey of the piece. There were many suggestions. Mainly, the idea was that the piece would be lyrical and it would be accessible to everybody who could play it. So in essence, I wanted to write a piece which everybody could enjoy and nobody would feel that their part didn't mean anything. After getting all the suggestions, I then went away to start doing sketches, working with the ideas that the band had given me. A few months later, I returned with the first draft. I can't express how important for me as a composer the first draft was. During the first rehearsal of the piece, I soon found out any issues, and even better, I had even more suggestions on where to go next with the piece. I couldn't be happier now after last night's premiere performance. Phil Shotton has directed the band with great enthusiasm, and the band itself did amazing, and I can't express how grateful I am to them all.
Thank you for watching, and look out for part 2, which will highlight the second day of the BASBWE weekend. In the meantime, you can find out more about Maghull Wind Orchestra by going to our website, and you can follow us on our various social media sites. All the links can be found in the video description below.